Good evening, and excuse me. Well, this is the match that we thought was never going to happen after yesterday's bit of a shambles. In fact, let's get on here. Hang on a minute. Good evening. We have the resumption of this round 4 match in this year's VP4 9-ball Masters, and it's between Stub, Real Poland Power, but Stub as we will call him, against Cobra. And if you weren't there yesterday morning at what time was it, 8 AM, 7 AM, I forgot, the match got underway. Cobra had a brilliant start. He won the lag. He broke off, he potted a couple of balls, he ran the rack, he was 1-0 up. It's alternate break, remember, and no jump cues. Rack 2, Stub broke off, came up dry, left an awkward yellow, 1 ball, sorry, for Cobra. Cobra got the 1 ball, ran the table, 2-0 up. Rack 3, and that's where it all started to go wrong for Stub. Cobra broke off, ran the rack, and was 3-0 up. But then everything went down the pan, because Stub had about 3 disconnections, took about 7 minutes to eventually get his PC rebooted. He had Windows updates, and by the time he got back in the lobby, he had forfeited the match. But Cobra, after not giving a definitive answer yesterday, decided today that he was going to give him the opportunity to continue the match. So we're going to continue the match. Now what Semi suggestions all very well, but the match has to end, and it would still have to end then by Stub forfeiting the match if we do it Semi's way. The simplest way to keep the score going is to do it the way we suggested. Start it off and then he forfeits, and then he loses the first 3 racks, and then the break goes back to Stub in rack 4, and that way the match is right the way it was yesterday before it went tits up. But anyway, hopefully that's the way it'll be done, and then we can carry on and hopefully see a good match. So welcome everybody, any latecomers, welcome everybody from Twitch, Facebook, not that I've seen anybody yet. Oh, there's one, Keith's there. Good evening, Keith. And Polo is there. And my God, I've got brilliant news in case you don't know, but my local Chinese reopened tonight, and needless to say, when they opened at 4:30 this afternoon, their phone rang at 4:31, and it was me. And it was me that was on the phone. And I had a big pile of salt and pepper chili chips, and then on top of that I had chicken chow mein. Oh dear, it was beautiful. I'm just like a druggie with a hit. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Right, anyway, back to the matter in hand. It's now just almost the top of the hour. We've got a few seconds and this room should be going up, and well, hopefully both players do it the way as suggested, and that way it saves any confusion at the end. The room is up. I'm going to get myself in there. Cloths already blue. Cobra's in. Stub's in. And we're going to lag off. Not that it matters. But Cobra should win the lag. Let's see if I've done this right. Right, Cobra's won the lag. Well, regardless of what happens, for those of you who didn't see it, it was just an excellent start for Cobra. He didn't make a mistake. He ran 3 straight racks yesterday morning, and he means business. Now, Stub has it all to do, and he's not going to do it all on his own. He's going to need some help. He's going to need some assistance. He's going to need some errors from Cobra, who after yesterday's evidence, isn't in the mood to give many errors. So that's the only way Stubb can get back into this match. If it goes with the break for the rest of the match, Stubb is heading to the one-loss side. So once this is sorted out, we should be up and running in rack 4 with Stubb to break. So there's no jump cues and it's alternate break. And the winner of this match will go through to play Baker Maker, so it doesn't get any easier. Baker Maker is going to cause lots of problems for whoever he plays, because he's been playing very well in the tournament. So we're at 2-0 at the moment. And we've still got 11 people in the room. How the hell did that happen? And there's Ali hasn't learned from the last time. What's the first thing he does? Jump into the room and start chatting. What a numpty. Right, so here we go. Stubb breaking off in rack 4, looking for a ball. 6 ball goes in. And well, if that 4 hadn't nudged the 1, he would have been sitting a lot better. But he's got a pot. Let's check my little doodle's working. Yeah, we're okay. We are good to go. And that was the first difficult shot Stubb had to overcome. So he's hung up the 1. A quick look, and I think that Cobra can. He's going to have to just miss the 2 to actually catch that 1 when he's spinning off that rail. In fact, it's out from the corner, so he should knock it in no problem. And already this isn't looking good for Stubb. And the problem ball, if there's going to be one, is going to be the 5. And he started already. I mean, well, it's all about if Cobra can get a nice angle on the 4. He needs to just run through about roughly 2 inches and he'll have a perfect angle just to drop the 4 in and stun down for the 5 on that top rail. Well, he looks as if he's wanting to draw back. No, I thought, aye, that'll do it. I thought he was going to draw back there and do it, but he's perfect angle just to drop down. Stubb's asking to be muted because he can't stop. He just can't help it. He's going to have to punch this a wee bit unless he wants to leave the 7 long. Yeah, he's played it well again. Now ideally he wants to go right through onto that top rail. Right on the rail would do perfect, because then he's got a nice little angle just to drop the 8 ball in, and that again is perfect. Well, I don't think he's played a wrong shot yet, Cobra, in the first 4 racks. Everything's fallen into place here and it's just continuing from where he left off. And again, the error there, that's the one error that Stubb has made so far in the match. He's done no errors. He's 3-0 down through no fault of his own. He just got a dry break in that first session. But the one error he did make in this rack has cost him the rack. So it's now 4-0. And see, this is what I told. I mean, Cobra's he's just fallen into the trap. He says he enjoys listening to Stubb's chat. To me, it's a distraction, and he's quite willing to accept it. That's up to him. He may live to regret it. But anyway, Cobra's broke off in rack number 4, and look at the 9 ball. He's got to bank the 2 onto the 9 and this rack's over. Because the 3 I don't think goes. There's not enough of that 3 ball showing, so he's got to go for the bank. And this is going to annoy Stubb. Oh dear, well that's the first bad shot he's played. That is the first bad one. I mean, I would have even laid odds of me getting that bank there. He got it all wrong. And well, can Stubb squeeze round a 3? He doesn't fancy it. Well, what's he doing? Yep, he's going to have to do a little bend, and then he's going to have to get lucky here. If the spin will take him towards the 3. Well, now Cobra has a choice. He's got 2 choices. He can go for the bank again, which is a lot more difficult now, or he can try and combo the 4, which isn't easy, or he can go for cover because there's 3 balls there to help him if he can somehow find cover. He certainly doesn't want to push that ball to the left side of the table. If he does, Stubb will bury him behind a bunch. That would be a fatal mistake. If he leaves that 2 ball on the left side, it's not a good idea. But there's not many choices from him. That's the problem he has with this shot. He's not got a lot of places to manoeuvre. But you can certainly try and hide. Well, he's gone for the bank again this time. Well, he might have got away with it. He's got away with it, has he? Because Stubb can't get past the 6. Now, I wonder if Stubb would be better. Can he get there? Yeah, he's trying to squeeze it in. That's a good shot, but he's going to have to bank the 3. So this to get on the board, a crucial shot. And he's missed the 9, but he's got the 3, the 5's gone in. He's going to have to reverse bank the 4. And it's desperate stakes here right now. So early in the match, but it really is desperate for Stubb. He's got to keep this going. And this will hurt if he doesn't take this rack out. Because he knows it's all over if he misses this 4. And it goes, and he's home and dry, and he's on the board, and he'll breathe a sigh of relief. And he's got the break in rack number 6. 8 ball goes in. How's his luck? Oh, that 6 ball has done him a favour. It's nudged the 1 back into play because he was going to be locked behind a 5 there. Now, I don't think he can avoid running into these balls here if he cuts this 1. He's going to have to ride his luck here a wee bit, I think. Can he avoid them? Yes, he can. And he's another good one. A cut combo onto that 6. Not risking it. And he's got the cover. Has he got full cover? Yes, he has. Now I think there's a gap there. Yep, he can get into it with spin. He might even kick this 2 ball in if he gets enough of it. He might kick that into the left middle. Oh dear. Well, there's the sort of error that Stubb needs. He needs help from Cobra, and Cobra's more than willing to help, and that's a bad one. But there looked more than enough room to get between those 2 balls. I think the problem was a spin. What chat's not working right? Tell me what's not working. I tested it earlier and it was all fine. No, the chat disappears if nobody says anything after 30 seconds, I think. Yeah, the display in the stream will stay there, as long as somebody's chatting. If nobody chats for more than 30 seconds, it'll disappear. No, it's maybe just it's maybe just delayed from restream. But I'm seeing everything on the screen. You guys are seeing it as well. Although I'm seeing it all from Twitch. Is there anybody on YouTube? If there's any problem, we'll go and have a quick look and see if we can get it fixed. And if there isn't, there's no sound in Twitch. But you're getting picture. Turn the volume up then. There's a volume that's muted button down at the bottom of the screen. Maybe we get new viewers on here that don't know how YouTube and Twitch works. Anyway, I'm taking my eye off the game here. This is an important rack for Stub again. So, with the aid and assistance of that mistake by Cobra, Stub has got it back to 4-2, and Cobra's broke off in rack number 7. And what went there? The 3 ball has gone, and again it's the reverse bank on the 1 ball or the safety. Now he can try and he could actually play this with inside English. There's a shot on here where he can push the 1 that way into there, and with inside English straighten the cue ball so he runs up there. But he's going to have to try and get that ball right in behind us if he plays that shot. Well, he's went for the reverse bank, he's got it, and he's on the 2. And well, I suppose the only problem ball's the 5 ball, but there's plenty of room down the side to get it. I never noticed. I mean, if nobody types anything for, I think it's about 30 seconds, the chat just disappears off the screen. But if you guys are saying you type stuff and it never appeared, then there might have just been a temporary lag or something with restream, but it looks okay now. No, you shouldn't watch through the game and YouTube. That's numptish. You've got to watch the stream rather than having the 2 things running at the same time. Anyway, Cobra's found a 5. Well, you know what it's. I mean, this is peak time Friday night here, so they may well be throttling the bandwidth as well. Well, it looks as if Cobra is going to regain the lead by 3, provided he takes these out. But I suppose the one objective was for Stub to get himself off the mark. He's managed to do that. He's had some assistance from Cobra, but he needs more because of this alternate break. Now, who gets the break now? Does it go back to Stub? I've totally forgotten. Yeah. Back to Stub. Pressure's on every time Stub breaks. He simply has to get a ball and run out. Well, he's done the first objective. He's got a ball now. He's got a similar shot to what Cobra had in that 3rd rack yesterday, although he's a lot closer to it. It's a tight cut, but it does go. But he's going to have to do something with the 2 ball. I don't know whether he can. Can he find a gap? Oh, that looks nice. Well, he couldn't have played that any better. He's lying pretty good on the 2, I think, to make the cut angle. Oh yeah, I've got a big 2 litre bottle of water here. Well, I'll tell you something. I think is that a clean shot? That is the game going to call it clean? Yes, it is. I'll tell you what I ate tonight made up for the last 7 weeks. I can assure you. Oh dear, I can't move. Oh no, I don't like iron brew. It's like rusty water. Well, Stubbs way too square on this 4-ball. This is tough. Yeah, leaving him too tough. He can't do that. You know, he's got to get the shape, and if he doesn't get the shape, he's under pressure to pull out all these difficult shots, and it just can't be done. You cannot sustain that for the rest of this match. So it's another error by Stubb, and these are awkward shots coming out of the corner pocket. So Cobra's taken his medicine and decided to leave it long. Now, if he tries to kill the cue ball, he's stunning to the right. If he's going to roll this in dead weight, he's rolling up towards the 8-ball, just to lie next to the 8 somewhere. And he's got to get the pace right though. And he doesn't want to roll through too far towards that 8-ball, if that's what he's planning. No, he's stunned it. He's managed to hold it. It's difficult to tell looking at those angles whether he can actually stun it enough and just hold it and still make the pot, but he's managed to do it. So it's now looking grim again for Stubb. But leaving yourself far too square on a ball under pressure is going to cost. So it's now 6-2 to Cobra. So his advantage is stretched. And Cobra's winding Stubb up as well. So, like I say, let's hope he doesn't pay the price and live to regret it. And Cobra breaks off in rack number 9. And well, we've lost to 3, we've lost to 5, we've lost to 8. And well, I don't think he's got a shot in the 1. No, that 1 isn't going at that angle. It's too tight. Now he can hide in the corner here though. He can brush off the 1. He's went for the bank and he's got it again. And Stubbs' heart will be sinking after that shot. Can't see any reason why Cobra can't get on the 4. Well, I think Stubb needs to appreciate the fact that for a run to be made to look easy, you have to be getting good position each time, and that's one thing Stubb needs to work on. Relying on pulling out pots each time isn't the way to run a table. Relying on getting good shape all the time is the way to guarantee to get good runouts when you come to the table. He knows that, but that's where he falls short a lot of times. And it's going to be 7-2. Now, if this was a winner breaks tournament, Stubbs still got a chance. It's now 7-2, and he is chasing his tail again. And he's now at the stage where he can't afford to miss. Simple as that. Cannot afford errors. Gets a couple of balls in the break, doesn't get any joy, goes for the kick. Is that 1 going to go in? Well, there's a bit of luck. And he's on the 3. This is a wee bit fiddly as well. He's going to run into the 8, and that's worked out perfect, because he could have easily brushed past the 8 there and hooked himself. How can he finish this off? Well, he's had a little bit of luck there. He's had a bit of help from Cobra to win one of his racks. He's still going to need more. It could get interesting if things start to get tight, and how Cobra handles that. Well, there's Alicia PMing me. Well, no offence to her, but somebody can explain it to her. She's probably not aware. She's probably just arrived in the lobby or something and doesn't know, or she's asking for the link to the stream. So if there's anybody there that's doing nothing, somebody can post a link to the stream to her if she wants to watch it. But that's possibly what I think. That's what she asked the other night after I had finished. But as I say, I wasn't going to answer it to find out what it was. But she probably wants a link to one of the streams to watch it. So if anybody wants to do her a favour, by all means, it'd be much appreciated. I assume that's what she wants. If it's anything else, I won't be finding out. But anyway, stub at the table, and in goes the 9, and he's got another one back. But again, the downside is the break goes back to Cobra for rack number 11. Right, thank you. 8 ball goes in, 6 ball goes in, and well, I'd be looking. I don't think the bank's quite on with that 2 ball. It's not angled enough. It doesn't look like it from here. First instinct tells me it's not angled enough to actually bank. I could be wrong, but maybe Cobra sees it different. We'll soon find out. Because if you look down the line at where the 2 ball would go, does that bank, or is he looking to make the bank? Let's see. For the 2 ball in the top left hand corner, or is he thinking about it? He's spending a lot of time looking at it. He's trying to make the bank now, I think. Is he? Or is he running for cover? Because look at the cover at the top end of the table. No, he's just looking for cover, and he hasn't got there. He was trying to get in behind those, and he's left Stub an awkward shot, and he's left a thin cut, and he can't hold for the 2. And Stub himself might have problems getting to the 2. Well, he's got the cut. Is he getting some help? Yes, he is. It's going to get there. It's got there. He's gone a wee bit far though. He's another good one. Oh, he's going to be hard pushed to do much with the actual cue ball here to get anywhere on this 3. It'll be a bloody good shot to do it, I'll tell you. He's digging down trying to hold it, but yes, it's just pushing the boat out too far. Needs to get cover. And I don't think there'll be any way of changing Stubbs' tactics, because he's just desperate to stay at the table, and he's prepared to just go for shots that, well, again, they go in, you look a hero. They don't go in and you leave your opponent a shot. You could pay the price, but unfortunately for Cobra, he's locked out and has to get lucky again. It's all about getting the kick safe. and it's not safe. Immediately there is a problem, because Stubb has to work this cue ball to get himself a decent shot in this 4 to be able to just drop through for the 5. He doesn't want to get the wrong side of this 4 ball. Now let's have a look. Well, he should be okay, and he has to watch the pace on this. Ideally he would want to rest through in the 9 ball, but there's a strong danger of running past the 9 here if he gets too much on this. Oh well, you see he's taking his eye off the ball, worried about that, and I think he almost locked himself out there. That's what's caused the error, and he's got lucky. Well, Stubb can't say he hasn't had the run of the ball in a couple of the attempts he's had here. Oh, no sooner have I said that, look what Cobra's just done. Oh dear. Oh, that'll really cheer Stubb up. And he's missed a kick, and well, it's going to be 8-3, isn't it? And all of a sudden it's all went pear-shaped, this rack. I think that's a good idea. Save his neck. Yeah, a little run through somewhere up by the 7 ball would be ideal, just to leave that angle. Well, he's got the angle. Needs to get up to the middle pocket. He doesn't want to be cutting across this 7 ball. He doesn't want to have to try and do anything with the cue ball. Get up near the middle pocket, and that's perfect. That's exactly where you want to be on this type of shot, because you can just run straight through to the top rail, or you can stun behind the 9. You've got 2 choices what you want to do. Of course he'll carry on. Of course, I mean, it's just habitual, he can't help it. But he's got more problems to worry about than what he says in the chat, because he's trailing by 5. It's 8-3 to Cobra in this race to 15, so Cobra's halfway home. And Stubb gets a ball in the break. Table is wide open, and he's got to run it, hasn't he? There's no ifs or buts, no excuses. If he doesn't run this, it's going to be a failure. Well, here's the first little test. I think he's got himself a wee bit straight. Yeah. What angle's he got there? There's enough angle to drop the 5 in. He's just going to have to be gentle unless he wants to run across the table twice. But he can drop behind the 7 somewhere over here. Nope, he's coming across. Didn't want to baby it. Decided to get it out. Good evening and welcome to the stream, any latecomers. This is the round 4 match between REELPOLANDPOWER, or Stubb as I call him, against Cobra. Stubb from the USA, Cobra from the UK, from England. And this match has resumed at 3-0 to Cobra from yesterday. We're now at 8-4, and it's Cobra breaking in rack number 13. And well, a couple of balls have gone. Certainly the one ball's gone, the 8's gone as well. What else went? We've lost the 1, we've lost the 4, and we've lost the 8. And well, I don't see a problem here. This rack's over if Cobra knocks in the 2. And this is probably the most frustration that Stubbs going to get, is watching Cobra break, get 2 or 3 balls in the break, have a shot, and then just run the rack. Absolutely nothing he can do about it. And this is why Stubbs' odds for getting any result in this match are lengthening with every stroke of the ball here by Cobra. His chances are diminishing fast. Well, he's doing the right thing. He's taking his time. He's not desperate to win a rack. He's just taking his time, make sure he's doing it right, which is probably the biggest mistake most of these players do in this tournament. There's players so desperate just to hit a ball and play a shot, rather than actually steadying themselves, settling themselves into the shot, making sure they're doing things right, and taking their time and getting the end result. And Cobra's doing the right thing. He's going a bit straight though. He's going to have to punch this. So no problem there. Yeah, well, I don't think you get much thanks off Stubb, because Cobra could easily have just took the result and would have been well within his rights to do so. He did nothing wrong. But I suppose the ego comes into play a wee bit. He wants to actually give Stubb a proper doing in front of people, and well, at the moment he's in the process of doing that, because he's now 9-4 up. So I think he wants to rub it in deep and make it stick. So Stubb has broke off, the 8 ball's gone, and his odds don't look that great for this rack. He's got a wee bit of work to do, and it's all about getting shape. Well, he's got the 2, he's on it. Now let's have a quick look while he's thinking. How does that 4 ball look? Well, we can see the 4 ball goes. As long as you're there or thereabouts, you can pot it, but any other angles you're going to be struggling. He's got to be careful. Well, no, I mean, I personally, I genuinely believe he had problems, because the signs were there. When people are having a dodgy connection, they'll disappear and come straight back in within a second, but then they're not necessarily in the room, and that's exactly what happened twice. He disappeared quickly and came back in. Now if you control alt delete, that doesn't happen. You can't get out and come in that quick, so it was genuine disconnects that he had. But as I say, self-inflicted. He'd only do himself to blame with that. He didn't refresh his PC. But anyway, there's the problem. The problem that was always going to be there all along was trying to get on that 4 ball, and he's nowhere near it. But he can certainly put Cobra in trouble here. Well, that was a desperate shot if ever I've seen one, and he's got away with it. And I don't know what the hell he tried there. Anybody can tell me if they know what he was thinking. But Yeah, the message pop-up says weird things like that, but it was it was definitely a drop in connection. You don't drop and connect and reconnect so quickly. I see that happening with players like Capo and what's his name, the other guy from wherever it is in South America. The same thing happens with them regularly when they're in tournaments. They disappear and they come straight. It says so and so is left, and then he comes straight back in. That's exactly what was happening with Stubb. So it wasn't Control Alt Delete and killing his game that was doing that. As I say, if you Control Alt Delete and kill the process, you've then got to restart VP4 and come back in, and that'll take you at least a minute to get that done. Anyway, we don't need to discuss that now. We've got the match. Cobra's well on his way to proving his point. Stubb, well, that last shot that he played, I haven't a clue what he tried. Well, did he play the bank onto the 7? Did he play it? Maybe he did. But he's going to have to play another good one because this 4 ball isn't easy. Well, he's looking good now. And this match, I'm going to say it now, this match could turn if something happens within the next couple of racks and Stubb gets into it, and then we might not see too much chat coming from Cobra. That's all I'm going to say right now. If things happen, and things still might happen. So Stubb's trailing before the break back with Cobra though. Well, that's what I'm saying. When it gets down to the business end of a match, if Stubb is breathing down his neck, you might see things differently. We've seen it before. We've seen it plenty of times. It doesn't matter how good they are. The old sphincter muscle starts tightening. Stubb is lucky he didn't scratch. He's got the pot. He's going to have to reverse bank the 2 and hope he gets on the 3 because there's no guarantee, but there is a path. The path is there. Although that's not the way I would have tried to find it, but he's got a shot, believe it or not. But that's not the way I would have done it. But the same problem Stubb has all the time, shots like these, and hoping he gets that wee bit of luck that he can still see the next ball and then he makes the pot. This is not the way to be running tables. I mean, he'll insist he's in control here, but you know, you've already seen what's happened. He's got a shot in the 4, but he's not in great shape because he's having to work the cue ball and hold the pace. And now it's beginning to shape up if he gets on this 6. And he's looking good. Well, he's always going to have a potter's chance, Stubb. You know, he can pot balls, and a lot of the times that's what keeps him at the table. Whereas there's a lot of players now, you know, Vince Says is a good example of that. Bakermaker's probably a good example as well. and Larry, of course, too. There's a lot of good players who they look to get the right shape, and you know, a lot of times Stubbs playing shots where he's not got good shape, and that's what gets him out of line. And then the further out of line you get, the more difficult shots you have to try and keep a run going, and sooner or later you're going to run out of gas. And he's managed, if he gets this 9 in, to scrape through this rack, and he's got it back to within 3, and we're back to square one, because that's how this second session started. Stubb trailing by 3, and well, the hard work's been done. He's got the 3 ball in the break, he's got a tough 1 ball, but he can drop behind the 5, land on the 2, but he's going to have to get this sweet. This is not easy into a blind pocket. Oh, good evening, Mark. I never saw you there. And this is why Stubbs taking his time. He knows it. He knows this has to go. He's trying to set himself up and not make a mistake. Yeah. See, those type of shots, you cannot pull them off time after time. You can't do it. And he set himself up as best he could, but they're just so difficult to pick the line on a shot like that. And now, again, this is one that will hurt Stubb. If Cobra can take this out, I'm not sure whether he's going to brush. Is he going to brush? Well, he's going to hit the 9, and that's the problem. The way that angle is now, potting that 1, he's going to hit the 9. He could scratch in the middle pocket here, but the cue ball's going to run up the table away from the 2 ball. He's going to have to hope he comes off a rail and comes out, unless he's going to put deep draw on it like he is. Yeah, he's avoided the 9 and he's left it long, but he's got the shot and he's got nothing to do to get on the 4. So, well, the crucial shot in this rack's the 5 to the 6, and it doesn't look to be a problem. It could be a problem if Cobra can't land good on this 5. I see he's a bit straight here. There's a bit of digging to be done here with this cue ball. He's got to get this sweet into the pocket or it's going to hang up and rattle. And he couldn't have played it much sweeter, and he's got a lovely little angle. And the only way this will go wrong is hooking himself behind the 8. So if he actually errs on caution, he might leave this cue ball just up with the left middle pocket here. He might just baby this in, get the cue ball up to the left middle pocket, and that way he can drop the 7 in and still be on the 8, no problem. And that's the idea he had in mind. Don't overhit it. If anything, underhit it, and you've got plenty of room to manoeuvre. So, well, we're going to put this on the scoreboard. It's going to be 10-6. And Stubb is running out of racks. So 10-6 and a break with Cobra for rack number 17. No, he doesn't play as much. Well, he's working now, so that's another big reason. I mean, when I was playing a lot of EP3, I wasn't working half the time. And then when I was working, I wasn't working the type of hours that I'm doing now. I was more or less a 9-to-5 job originally, and then now I'm up at when I'm working normal hours, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I don't get any great time to play the game. Who's Lorraine? Anyway, hello Lorraine. Welcome to the stream. It's not another guy pretending he's a girl, is it? We've got far too many of them in VP4. And Ali seems to know them all. Well, Cobra is doing all he needs to do. He's getting shape. He's in control of the cue ball, and Stubbs' prospects don't look too good. If Cobra just keeps this up, it's just a matter of time. Well, it's safe to say now we're at the point now where Stubbs' back is right against a wall, and no matter how good he shoots, if he plays no miss 9-ball to the end of this match, he's still going to lose, because Cobra's game would simply have to fall apart in order for him to lose this match now, and I don't see that happening. I mean, the break would have to go out the window, and he'd have to be leaving a ball on for Stubb, and Stubb would have to run the table if there's any chance of him getting back in this match. And it's now 11-6. Well, if ever you're going to have pressure on your break, Stubbs going to show that right now. Breaks off, needs a ball, and he ain't getting it. And what's more, he's left Cobra a shot. Nothing you can do. Well, I think he can cut the 1, miss the 4, and come across the table. The big risk is actually finding the gap behind that 5-ball if he ends up over in the left middle pocket. That looks like the path it would take. He might want to play short. He might want to cut the 1 if he can cut it, and the cue ball goes there and out there somewhere like that. He could go that way and get behind the 5 that side. It depends what proper angle he's got and whether he can do anything to hold the cue ball. We'll see that in a second or two. But that's the sort of path he could take. He's just worried about the 5-ball here. Yeah, he's hit the 4, but I think he's going to end up with a shot though. He's still got a shot. He's going to be hampered by the 3. And well, he goes full-blooded for this. He's going to stun past that 9, stun between the 9 and the 7. He's playing top on this at the moment. Now, I would have thought he'd have to hit this half. Aye, well, he's digging down now, so he's looking to stun between the 9 and 7 and find a path. Brushes past the 5, nudges the 6. Well, this has got to be a gentle cut, so that that cue ball comes off the rail but not too far, or he runs the cue ball. He's got a far too much angle on this 3 to maybe risk trying to hold it. He might try and run it. Or is he trying to? Yeah, he's going to run it, and that's going to work out nice. And now he's sitting pretty. Just needs to kill the cue ball, roll the 5 in, and the shot for the rack is going to be getting on the 7 from that 6 ball. Well, he's decided to run through it. He's now hitting this 5 ball offline. Let's have a wee look behind it. Well, the cue ball's going to run to the side rail. He's not going to risk scratching here, but he's just got to pick the line. Just drop it in, do nothing else. The most important shot is coming up next. It's the only shot that can go wrong here is from the 6 to the 7. Now what does he do? Now at worst, if he finishes this side, he's going to have to make a combo, no doubt about that. Is he going to try and force the cue ball up the left hand side? He's a bit too straight. He could cheat off the rail. No, he's going for the draw, and he's gone too far. Or is he gone far enough? No. Well, let's see it from this end. Well, he's not going to try and drop that into the middle, is he? He's got to play the cut surely to the bottom pocket. This is the crucial one. Stubb sitting with his fingers crossed, rattling his rosary beads, prayer shawl on his shoulders, and he's facing Mecca. He's doing everything here, using every religion he can to give him a hand. Well, he's played it in the middle. It was too tight as far as I saw, and there's a chance for Stubb. That was a brave shot because it was far too tight. And well, he's rattled it in the jaws, and Stubb's got a chance. He's dead straight though. He's going to have to thump this to get a shot in the 8. That's what happens when you thump them. And his chance is gone, and the angle's perfect. Little edge of the 7. Well, we've seen it 100 times. We know what happens on these tables, on the tournament tables. You hit them with power. If you hit them with power slightly offline and it hits those jaws, they ain't going in. They will hang up every day of the week. But what the hell has Cobra done here? What has Cobra done? Oh, well. He can squeeze past it, no problem. Oh, that's going to hurt Stubb even more. Wouldn't you believe it? He found the gap behind the 9. He didn't play that, I'll tell you that. And does he not pot the 9? It's 12-6. And it's now turning into a nightmare for Stubb. I thought he had done himself there, Cobra, and he thought that as well. And there's a gap there just big enough for a cue ball. And it's another nail in Stubb's coffin. And Stubb is sitting in the corner, battered and bruised after these last few racks. And he's missed the 1, left a cut in the 1, and plenty of room for Cobra to find a line to this 2 ball. He might actually run into this 2 ball if he just plays it plain ball. things could go wrong that way, but well, the lead that he's got, it might be worth just taking a risk, because if he can get from the 2 to the 3, this rack's all over as well. But he's rattled it, and he went all out for it, found the gap behind the 2, and Stubb has a chance, and it's no miss, no mistakes. It's run the table or bust. Yeah, Stubb will take that favour any day. Oh, Stubb's been unmuted. His mute's ran out. He started again. Well, that's the answer to every guy that loses a match or is losing a match. If it wasn't for your misses and your dry breaks, yep, of course it'd be a close match. But the player that's playing better control and better position is the one that's winning the match. That's the simple answer. Although that shot could have been played better by Stubb. He's out of line again. What's Snake's up to here? What the hell's he doing? He's a mad German, isn't he, Snakes? Posting links to bloody music, Jesus. Anyway, Stubbs recovered. Well, Stubb at the moment is just picking the bones here. That's all he can do. And don't forget, the winner of this match is going to be playing Baker Maker, which should be another good lineup, another good fixture to see. I hope I get a chance. Well, I thought that things might have happened there for Stubb in that previous rack when Cobra looked as if he was going to lock himself out behind a 9, and he managed to find that gap. So even when Stubb's thinking things might just happen a wee bit there for him, the wind was taken right out his sails. He's managed to get the next rack. He's got a chance in this one. Still trailing by 12 racks to 7, and Cobra is only 3 away from round 5. And once again, Stubbs just about got there. Just about got there in the 4. I'll have another quick drink. There's that mute button for this mic so you don't hear me guzzling the water. Well, he's found better line this time. So how many are watching on YouTube? I don't have a count as to how many are watching. How many's on YouTube and how many's on Twitch? I'd be happy if we had 10. If we had double figures. Oh, there's 10 in Twitch. That's good. That's promising. Well, Stubbs in a bit of no man's land here. Cut into the middle looks the favourite. And 18 on YouTube. Oh, that's a world record for me. I'm managing Facebook about 3. There's usually only a couple in Facebook, if there ever is anybody on Facebook. Yeah, but probably 80 of those that are in the room are actually watching the stream as well. Anyway, Stubb has got another one back. Now I think the break does the break go back to Cobra again? I've lost count of what's happening. Yeah, break back to Cobra. And well, we've lost the 9, but the 9 gets respotted if it can. Now what happens in that instance? Yes, it does respot. I wonder whether, I've never seen that happen in the game, whether the cue ball holds that spot and whether the 9 ball goes nearest to its spot like in snooker. I don't know whether that's the rule in 9 ball. Maybe if anybody knows that, they can explain that to me. I don't know whether it is in its position or whether that's in its nearest position. What? Yeah, well, see, well, when you say Monday evening, that's really no good to me. 7 o'clock at the latest, I can scrape a match in, but anything later, forget it. I won't be there. I'll be in bed. As soon as this match is over, I'm gone. I need to be in bed at 8:30 to get up at 2:30 in the morning, and that's how it's going to be for God knows how long. Closest spot behind obstruction, right? I've got that because I don't think I've ever seen that in 9 ball. I've never seen that happen in VP3 or VP4. Yeah, I was thinking it may well line up nearest its position. Yep. Well, that's good to know, because that's a rule I never knew, whether it was the same as in snooker, nearest its spot between it and the top cushion, as we would say. Anyway, an important rack again for Stubb. He's in. He has a chance, but he has a problem, because look where the 4 is. He's got to get behind the 4, and he can get behind the 4. It's a risky shot, but he's going to have to go for it. He's trying to come over. Well, I presume he's trying to come over where the 7 is. I can't think he's trying to do anything else here. Well, he's trying to go over to take it past the 9. It's tight, but it goes. But again, the cue ball has got to be worked here. He's got a lot of work to do to get on this 5. And this is where getting the better shape. Now, the better shape with that shot would have been over there to get on the 5. He's the wrong side of the 4 because the cue ball's going that way. And this is why it's so difficult for Stubb to make runs. You see, now he's totally out of line and it's all gone pear-shaped, and now he's looking for a thin cut in the 5. This is what Stubb does all the time. And, you know, a lot of times he gets the pots and the cue ball's going to be running, and he's going to be, if he gets really unlucky, he's not going to get on the 6. But this is why he's playing out of shape all the time. He can run racks, you know, nobody can deny that, but he can't run them clean often enough to be consistent, and this is where it goes wrong for him. And as long as he keeps running out of shape on shots, he's making it more and more difficult for himself, and that's exactly what's happened there. And that's something I've been telling him for years. He has to work on closer control to get that shape. He's always got a potter's chance in a match, but he's being found out. Vinces was the classiest player in the 10 ball world championship, and it went very close and Stubb battled all the way, but the most consistent player in the tournament won that one. And the most consistent player in this match is winning it right now. And of course, if it goes the way that it looks like it's going, Stubbs, unfortunately for him, going to find himself in a whole heap of trouble when he gets over to the one loss side, because there's some mean players over on that side waiting to get a hold of him. So he's going to have to battle whatever happens. And it's now 13-8 Cobra, and the clock's just ticking down, and the one ball goes, but no shot this time for Cobra, looking for for Stubb, and he's missed a kick in the two, and that's disaster. It's ball in hand for Cobra, and Cobra will take all the time in the world just to ram this down Stubbs' neck. Yeah, see, Cobra hasn't won this match. Stubbs lost it. That's what you need to understand, guys. That's how Stubbs' brain works. You know, he doesn't give the guy credit for being the most consistent player, having run the most racks when he's had a chance, and got the better position 9 times out of 10 more than Stubb has. It's all Stubbs doing. No credit to Cobra whatsoever. But you see, they're easy runs because the player makes it easy by getting good shape. Stubb doesn't appreciate that. I mean, anybody that's watched the match and watches it again will see who the most consistent player's been, who's been clean and pretty much precise most of the time, and been in good enough control for even when they are out of shape a little bit to hold it together and get the job done. So it's been pretty much developing to a clinical demolition of Stubb by the more superior player in the match. And anybody that wants to say different, well, you can have your opinion, but from where I'm looking, that's what I'm seeing. A gentle roll in the 9, and Cobra's on the hill. It's 14-8. And Cobra breaks in the rack that he needs, and the 5 has gone. He's got the thin cut in the 1 and the angle to get on the 2. Let's have a wee look and see how ugly that looks. No, that's okay. It's a bit tight though. Keep the VP4 lobby chat going for a while, will I? No, I'll be chatting away to my bed. It's already 8:15. I was hoping this match would be finished by 8:30 so that I can go to bed. Well, I think Stubbs played his last shot, I'm afraid. I can't see where this is going to go wrong, as long as Cobra lands nice in the 3, which he has done. Well, this is like Deontay Wilder against Tyson Fury in the second match, where you know, Deontay Wilder was always the favourite, and he was dismantled. He was dismantled and battered and beaten, and if you want that as a comparison, then Stubb is Deontay Wilder. He's getting a severe doing, and the only thing that hasn't happened is the towel hasn't come in. Little brush off the 9, and well, Stubb's already unpacking his cue, or packing his cue case. The toys have come out the pram. He spat the dummy, and he's going to run home to mummy. Yeah, it's all there in, well, it's not in black and white, it's in colour, but all the evidence is there that the better player has won, and you would at least credit your opponent by saying that. Stubb's always a fighter, but he doesn't have the game now. People have caught up and passed him. Well, this has gone wrong. This has gone wrong big time. Well, there's a lifeline for Stubb. Is he going to go for the crossbank into the middle just to finish off with a flurry, or is he going to go for the cut down to the bottom right? I think he should bash the crossbank here. It could go in twice, in the first time or in the second time across. That at least gives you two chances of it going in, but I like the crossbank here. Just give it a smack. Well, it's a lifeline for Stubb, but it was all looking like it was all over. Is Stubb going to get to double figures? He breaks off, and whatever rack we're in, what is that, 14, 20, 20, is this the 24th rack or something like that? I think it is, I can't remember, can't count at this time of night. But Stubbs came up dry. No shot for Cobra, but Stubb will be in trouble, and he's in trouble big time. He's going to have to find a thin gap to hit the one from this side. Yeah, that was a desperate shot, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think he had much option. Well, that's provided he gets another chance, though. He wasn't expecting to get a shot in that 9-ball until Cobra ran out of shape. One of the very few mistakes that Cobra's made. I mean, I think you could count the errors that Cobra's made in one hand in the whole of the match. I don't think he's made too many. Although that might be another one. Yes, it is. He's pretty much hooked himself in the 2. And it could be another lifeline for Stubb. I bloody muted the mic there to have a drink and I forgot I'd muted it. See, if I don't mute the mic, you'll hear me guzzling the water, which you're about to hear again, and then I'll go and forget the mic's muted. Oh dear. Well, it's the old give it a bash and hope here from Stubb. Well, that's going to be thin. He's got to get that right on the line, right on the point of the 6 for this to go in. If he actually brushes this, it'll push off the railing out. So he's playing it safe, he's not risking it. The right thing to do. And Stubb is going to go all out for the cut down the rail. He ain't going to be thinking anything different, I don't think. I don't think he can see a safety here. He's just going to go for the cut. And it's managed to hold the line enough to stay there. He's come out behind the 8. And he's going to have to push through here. I can't remember what I said 30 seconds ago, let alone what I said an hour ago, or an hour and 20 minutes ago. Well, Stubb has got to double figures, and well, a few minutes ago it didn't look like that, but he's got there. Well, Cobra is going to have a nightmare from here on in for the outcome of this match to change. Cobra's broke dry. Stubb's got no shot, and he's went for a blast to try and create something, and all he's done is opened up the table slightly. And well, that if that 6 ball wasn't as close to the 3, I would say the run out was on. It still is, but it's getting up the table far enough to leave it comfortable on the 3, so he wants to be somewhere about there, and that way he can brush through and get out for the 4. So he needs to go through far enough. If he hits it short, I think he's there. Let's have a look. Yep, that will do. And surely this time Cobra's going to get the job done. Now, there is a wee problem here. The problem is getting too straight in the 5, because he wants to. He doesn't want to run into the 9. I can see something happening here, something going wrong with this shot. He can roll the 4 in and get the cue ball out, but he doesn't want to be dead straight in the 5. You see, he's left the angle, and unless he digs into this cue ball and gets it out into the middle of the table, he's going to have a difficult 6, because he doesn't want to run into anything up there. Yep, he's had to dig in, and he's got plenty on it, and now he can just, well, if he hits this 8 ball wrong and he hits it half ball inside, he'll block himself off of the 9. He's got to be careful. Strange things happen at the business end of a match. So this shot has the potential to go wrong, and he's worried about the 8. That's what's the concern. He has to hit it full in the face or half ball on the left side, so left side near us as we're looking. He doesn't want to hit it half ball right side. That's where it will go wrong, and I think he might be digging down to avoid it. Yep, he's done it right. Okay, he's pushed it towards the rail, but he's going to have no problem. He can let this cue ball run. He can risk the scratch. He can let it run. He's got all the table to get onto that 8, and it's all over, folks. And so Cobra is going to go through to play Baker Maker. It's going to be another England versus USA match, or I presume Baker Maker's USA. No, it might be Canada. And it'll be a good match-up between those two guys. But, well, from the start of this session, Cobra was 3-0 up, and in the end, he has won 12-10 in this session. I presume that's correct. Oh right, so he's from Texas, he's in the States. Yeah. Well guys, we got there in the end. We managed to see the match, and the best man won, and I will leave it at that. So with that, folks, thanks for your company, thanks for all that joined, and I hope to see you for one of the other matches. I won't be able to be around that often, and certainly anybody that sets their match for after 7 o'clock in a weeknight in the UK or British summertime, I won't be here. But what we do get, I enjoy doing. I enjoy your company. So remember, stay at home, stay safe, and keep your distance, and take care.